day of the year.
Oh, summer solstice for us, you know. For you is winter solstice.
Yes, shortest day of the year.
Yeah.
But it's good. From tomorrow on,
Yeah.
the day will become longer.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Hi,
Hello.
good
Hello,
morning.
Liz.
So it is our time. So let's elevate our thoughts to our Father, to our Master Jesus, in appreciation for the opportunity to be here together once more, surrounded by good spirits, surrounded by those who want to listen, to learn, to help us. Lord, that we could use this opportunity to open our perceptions and the way we want to act in your name using the mediumship. Be with us today and always. So be it.
Amen.
So let me share the screen with you all.
Pardon?
Let me share the screen with you
All
all.
right, okay.
Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Let me just organize my screen here. Move you guys to the left so I can see you better. All right. So today we are starting the item 311. But I would like to reinforce the last sentence of the last Saturday. We must remember that both physical and intelligent manifestations, i.e., mediumship, are only permitted by God for our instruction. I would extend this sentence as only permitted by God for our instructions and to perform charity. So I think that has to be really cast in stone in our hearts, because this is what will ensure our safety during the practice of mediumship. Why I'm saying will give us the safety we need to perform mediumship. The only way we can ensure that we are in the good path is if we are helped, surrounded by good spirits. I'm not saying that spirits that are in need will not come closer. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that even when those spirits, those suffering spirits, as we normally say, come closer to the medium, the good spirits are also there to help and to work together. How can I ensure that I can have good spirits around me? Doing things with complete interestedness. I will not collect money. I will not collect any benefit whatsoever from the mediumship. I will actively try to improve my morale. We all have mistakes. We all do mistakes. We have a lot of points to improve, but it's paramount to us all to be willing to improve. And willing to improve is to actively do anything we can to improve ourselves. It's not just to say, I want to improve, I'm not doing nothing either. And then practice the charity, the true charity. That could be moral or material charity. And there are enough information about the difference between both in Kardec's books. Okay? So the only way, again, to ensure that we are surrounded by good spirits is if we truly understand what is required and that we do what needs to be done to have them with us. Perform mediumship away from those points is all decision, is all call. But the consequences, we cannot complain, because consequences are there. And we know the consequences through the practice on the mediumship meetings, through the practice on the Spirit Center, when we see a lot of people coming in disarray. So keep that in your hearts, because that's very important. Let's start now 311. In spite of these moral considerations, we, of course, cannot deny the possibility that there are paid mediums who are honest and conscious, since they are honest individuals in all occupations. And then people will think, well, but this is contrary to everything you're saying. No, it's not. Here, Kardec is acknowledging the existence of honest people that do not understand the extent, the full extent of our mediumship. That's a different thing, right? And it's not because they are honest, because they will not have perhaps tribulations because of the choice they made. We are only addressing abuse. Nonetheless, we must agree that for the reasons we are given, there is more likelihood for abuse among the paid mediums than among those who consider their faculty as a gift and use of it only to serve others. Beside the circumstances, the degree of trust or distrust that we concede to paid mediums depends more than anything else on their character and morality. Mediums who have a serious and eminently useful purpose, but who are prevented from using their time in another activity, are for this reason exempt from other obligations and cannot be confused with speculating mediums who have premeditatively made mediumship a business. Therefore, according to, come on, don't scatter me. Is the computer playing? Just a minute. Let me see where things moved. Therefore, according to the motive and the purpose, spirits may condemn, absolve, or even favor them. They judge the intent more than the material fact. Many people will read and understand this topic as they wish. This is not an incentive to do so. This is Kardec considering the possibility that among those that are making a living from the mediumship, there are people that are honest and really trying to do charity. But he is highlighting very clearly that this is not a way to go. All right? We are very eager to judge people from other beliefs, that they're making a living from their religion, that they ask for money during their speech, during their practices, everywhere. Why should I entertain this possibility for myself when I'm very eager to judge others? 312. The same considerations do not apply to somnambulists who utilize their faculty for profit. Although this exploitation is also subject to abuse, and unprofitableness comprise the greatest guarantee of sincerity. Their situation is different because it is their own spirit who acts and consequently is always at their disposal. Actually, they only willfully exploit themselves because they are free to use their own faculties as they please. Whereas speculative mediums exploit the souls of the dead. I still think there's a very tenuous line doing so, right? And the only difference of this sentence is that we are using what we have, our means. And because we are using our means, he is considering that a different situation. Somnambulism is what many people would say is animism. It's from the soul of the medium himself. Mediumship communications are external beings using the mediumship of others to communicate. Okay? We need to make that difference. We are quite aware that our severity regarding mediums for hire set us against all who exploit or intend to exploit this new business, making them, as well as their friends who follow their opinion, our staunch enemies. And what comes to my mind is anybody else that really making a living from mediumship that may decide to watch our videos on the internet or may decide to come to one of our studies will be very unhappy. Of course, it is understandable. We do not judge them. We are not here making a speech trying to create like a hate thing against them. That's not at all what we want to do. But we cannot ignore what we've learned, what we see, what the practice brings to us as results of using mediumship for business. This we cannot ignore, right? Again, the Spiritism does not force anybody to do anything or does not tell anyone not to do anything. The Spiritism will give us the information we require to make our choices. And we will make our choices conscious of the consequences of our choices. That's it. We may console ourselves by recalling that the money changers who were expelled from the temple by Jesus could hardly have looked upon him with much favor. Yeah, it's a good comparison, right? We are also faced with individuals who do not regard the matter with proper seriousness. That is one thing that to me is very important. When we decide to evaluate something, we need first to be acquainted, at least, to the level of information required to make such evaluation. If I just express what I think, it's just my thought. If I search thoroughly the information to validate or deny such a thing, then we start to be right. And I always encourage everyone not to trust anything that comes out of my mouth. I encourage people to study. I encourage people to read. I encourage people to do research. That's why it's important to have the information freely available to everyone. And today we do have information freely available. Those books we are studying here, well, this book and the others, they are in the internet. No one can say that, oh, I don't have access. Yes, you do. It was not like in the 1800s that you had to cross cities and cities to be able to buy one example. No, it's not. Today, we all have cell phones. We all are here using technology that allows us to go and find the books that we are talking about. Then We all have means to read, to understand, and to make up our own understanding. It does not say that the way I understand is the right one, but then is the first step to start to have positive discussions, start to have studies, start to have conversations about a matter that will allow us to perhaps widen our spectrum of understanding or even change the way we see things. That's why it's very positive to be in a study group, because then we are confronting different types of perceptions, different type of opinions. And sometimes I know from A to C, but then I'll have someone else that will complete from D forward. And then we start to evolve with our understanding and perhaps even how we see things. Nevertheless, we feel we have the right to have and express our opinion. I think we all have that right. The day we cannot express ourselves, then we become something else. We would not try to force it on anybody. If the majority have adopted, however, it is because they have apparently found it to be appropriate. At any rate, we do not see how anyone could prove that there is less possibility for fraud and abuse in speculation than in unprofitableness. I think I said here before, and it's always good to remember, when people ask to me, well, what do you think about that? My first comment is, be careful. If somebody does not ask for anything, it's a good start. If they start to ask you for something, beware, may have some bad surprises. Hi, Osoli. Hi, Osoli.
Good morning, everybody. Yes, they're up the 312. I'm sorry, I would like back this a little because they say that is so number in English. The sonamblo medium, they do this all the same spirit of a medium that manifests. So I did understood so much because we know that at the many mediums have somnambulistic state to works, and so no spirit, only the medium's spirit.
Yes,
It's interesting.
Somnambulism is one of the things that's not very well understood in general. But somnambulism is your spirit performing the phenomena. It's not another spirit performing the phenomena. Somnambulism is something from you. And as it's something from you, basically you do whatever you want. That's what I'm trying to use, simple words for the item you brought to us, right? So
always. Okay. It always, so no exception, because I think
somnambulism is you. Somnambulism is you.
I take it for Chico Xavier, for example. So, always we learn. I learned something now that I didn't have so attention before, I think so. Thank you very much, Guilherme. Thank you.
The phenomena of the somnambulism is your soul, is your spirit.
So it's not mine. For example, I am here.
No, the somnambulism It's your spirit. It's not somebody else's spirit. There's no two, three types of somnambulism. No, somnambulism is yours.
Mhm.
What you would do with the somnambulist, then is another thing. Hi, Charles.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. The thing is, Kardec is talking here about pure somnambulist, but we know that some somnambulists have also mediumship associated to it. In other words, their spirit is getting free from the body, and then there are other spirits helping him in doing what he's doing. That is then mediumship. It's not pure somnambulism anymore. Okay. So as soon as Kardec is very clear. As soon as you depend from a spirit, you cannot ask for money because you depend from something that you can only get for free. As long as a doctor, for instance, he can make a diagnostic and can make prescription of medicine or whatever according to his science and his knowledge. That's why the doctor, the physician can charge for it. But this does not forbid him to get inspiration during his work, as anyone. But even without inspiration, he can do it. So that's why he's entitled to charge for it. Whilst mediumship, no. Mediumship, you are selling something that you do not control, that does not depend on you, which is exactly what is coming from the spirit. This is the argument of Kardec.
Hi, Camilo.
That's
No,
why Guilherme said that this not easy to it's not so easy and maybe the medium think that he is only medium, but this is one kind of a somnambulism, but he is honesty. And now I understood it better. Thank you, Guilherme. Thank you, Charles. Thank you.
Hi, Camilo.
I would say that I think Elzoli made the question because of what Charlie said, right? Because the somnambulism is a organic phenomenon, natural from our body, but it has some points that says that it has some people that also, when have this phenomenon, also has some kind of a mediumship, right? I put the other point there. I think from there came the confusion.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, where did I stop? On our part, if our writings have contributed to casting doubt on mediumship for hire in France and other countries, we believe that it will not be one of the least services they have rendered to serious spiritism. That sentence here, based on the end, he says, well, he acknowledged that he will really not please everyone, but he understands that for serious spiritists, that would be positive. Now is a topic we will start that's very interesting, and we need to be very careful with that too. Fraudulent manifestations. Those who do not accept the reality of the physical manifestations usually attribute them to fraud or special effects. I have a hard time to see the spiritism starting today with all the technology that we have. Today, I can take one picture of you guys, and in a few minutes, I can have your image with your voice speaking something that is not coming from you. What people call deep fake. So imagine nowadays with all the special effects we see on Hollywood and everywhere, trying to have a meeting of physical effects. No one, or The great majority of people will not entertain that at all, because people will think, well, this is a magic thing, this is a truth, this is a science fiction thing that people are planning just to lie to us. It would be way more difficult today to get people on board than were 200 years ago. To the point that today, what we see on the internet, on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram, is that really true? We don't know anymore. I don't know anymore. Because the level, the quality of fake information, fake images, the deep fake people talking on the internet, they are not human beings anymore. They are logarithms that are giving you a message. How do I know, is this person really? It's becoming challenging. And this is just the beginning. I don't know if you are following. People are buying now robots, humanoid robots, for their homes. This is a reality now. I'm not talking about vacuum cleaner. No. I'm talking about humanoid robots that move with legs and arms, talk with you. This is real now. Something that when I was young was only possible to think on the Jetsons cartoon, like, or something on the Star Trek type of thing, now is real. And as she could have predicted, technology would boom, science, medicine would have a massive boom in the years to come, and it's happening. We are having the opportunity to be incarnated when this is happening. How we will handle it, that's the massive question. But this is real, right? And then you have the people that are not very serious, profiting for this new technology to so many different things. So then I wonder, how can I ensure that I'm not falling into one of those things, one of those tricks? Now more than ever, we need to know what we do. We need to know where to find reliable information. We need to know where are the pillars of the Spiritism. We need to know what are the consequences of our choices if we decide to entertain things that we are not really sure is trustworthy. This is something that is hard to predict how it will be in the next 10 years. But if you always refrain to what we know is reliable, like Kardec's, is already a good start. I'm using Kardec, but he's not the only one. We have Chico, we have Emmanuel, we had Divaldo, we had others, of course, where we can rely. But future at the moment is a bit scary, in my eyes. So they start with the principle that skillful illusionists can do things that seem miraculous to those who do not know their tricks. Hence, they conclude that mediums are mere schemers. And something came to my mind here. The other day I was watching I think it was Instagram. There was a guy start to levitate and do movements that give us the idea that he was not restricted by wires or anything like that. Was that really a true case of levitation? Or there was a fake thing? Through the video, I cannot say yes or no. I can't. I don't know the person, I don't know the environment, I just saw the image, and the image does not give any clue if there was a true phenomena or there was something else. So why I'm saying that? In that case, what do you think would be a good parameter to be used to ascertain that there was something serious? What do you guys think?
Socratic filter, which means, is it true? That's the first question. Huh? Is it good? Second question. And is it opportune for the moment, or isn't there something hidden behind it?
I think
Analyze everything.
I think that's one bit what was the intention of doing that as well, because I mean, normally intention is all about it. What is intention about showing that?
Yeah. The intention of those videos were basically to attract attention, right? So the intention would not allow me to identify if there was a phenomena or not, because the phenomena can be used for good or for bad, right? So the intention in that particular case does not give me a massive clue if is or is not, right? I would stick to what Charles says. Also, the moral of the individuals that were performing that activity, right? Because if we knew the person, we could say, yes, there are people with a decent moral, they are serious people, then would give a little bit more confidence that what they are doing, even if the objective was something different, there was a serious phenomenon, right? Other than that, would be very, nowadays, very, very difficult. Because I was comparing the image of the lad floating on the free space, on open air, and we had pictures from Mirabelli at the same time, doing the same thing in open air during the day. And Mirabelli was a true phenomenon. So this guy could be a true phenomenon too. He does not even know how it works, what is to be used, that's a different thing. But we don't know. We don't know. So complicated to evaluate nowadays. We have already refuted this argument or opinion, particularly in our articles about Mr. Home. Mr. Home was a Scottish medium that was able, what a coincidence. Mr. Home was a Scottish medium that used to be one of the most powerful physical effects medium we know, and he used to levitate easily in a science, right? And in January and February 1858, issues of Review Spirit. We will therefore only say a few words on the matter before addressing a more serious topic. There is one consideration that will not escape anyone who reflects on the matter a little. There are undoubtedly illusionists of amazing skills, but they are rare. If all mediums practicing is laid offhand, we would have to agree that this art has made enormous progress in a short amount of time and has suddenly become very well known, since it may be found to be an innate ability among persons who have never suspected, even children. Does the fact that there are charlatans who sell this snake oil in public, and even doctors who privately abuse their clients, means that all doctors are charlatans, or that the medical class has lost its responsibility? Does not the fact that there are persons who sell colored waters as wine means that all those who sell wine as adulterators, and that there are no such a thing as poor wine. Anything can be abused, even the most respectable. And we may state that there is also genius in fraud. However, fraud always has some purpose, some material interest. When nothing can be gained from it, there is no interest in it. That is why we have stated that regarding paid mediums, the best of all guarantees is absolute unprofitableness. Once again, money and mediumship do not work well. Do not work well. Let's say that I used to be someone that used to charge for my mediumship. Years later, I became acquainted with the Spiritism guidelines, and I understood that I should not charge from my mediumship. But then nowadays we have videos that live forever on the internet showing me that I will do whatever you ask for money. And that was an old video, let's say 3 years ago video. And nowadays I don't do it. And then you guys decide to do a little research on the internet about myself, and you find both. What would you think? Am I reliable? Nobody think anything, isn't it? Very good.
You are a charlatan.
Difficult, isn't it? Hi, Charles.
Two things. I think we have just read a little bit some paragraphs above that mediumship has been given by God in order to help us and the humanity to progress, to shift from a materialist paradigm to a spiritualist paradigm, isn't it? So mediumship is like, I make a parallel with a bird which is taking off, in the air to go to spiritualism. And then all of a sudden you have the money taking the bird by the feet and pushing it down back to the earth, Mm-hmm. So you miss completely the mission of mediumship. And the second thing is be careful, Guilherme, because this issue is very serious right now. I don't know, maybe some people have followed some very harsh polemics going on in Brazil right now about some mediums who are trying to do like Chico did, writing letters with proof of identity in order, with a good intention even, to console the mother or the father who have lost the husband or the son or whatever. And it is really terrible what's happening right now because as Guilherme told, in the letter, there are some information. When you go to Facebook or wherever, you can find all the information that are in the letter. So the letter does not prove anything. And even so, the medium is saying, this is coming from the spirit of your beloved one, You have in front of you someone who is despaired because he has lost something and so on, and you are making this type of fake. It's an absolute, total lack of respect, isn't it? You are really gambling with something which is the worst thing to gamble with. We should have the deepest respect for this situation, isn't it? And right now there has been a polemic some time ago with a medium who has even been condemned, and now there is a second polemic with another medium, and it's really taking incredible proportions. Whilst it's so simple, Kardec always said, you can never prove, be absolutely sure about the identity of what you are receiving it. So if you give it to someone saying, this comes for your son, you simply does not respect what Kardec has said, what Kardec has taught us. And then, of course, this violence of reaction against this medium can be understood like this. Look, the information is on Facebook. So he made a fake. He is gaining importance and whatsoever, and then with political links. I mean, the thing is really taking incredible proportions right now. So best is, okay, let's stay with Kardec, let's stay humble. Disinterestedness is for money, but not only for money, also for, you know, being on the top of the poster or whatever. Huh? No, we should really follow Shiku's example and stay in the pure disinterestedness as if we want to avoid this type of things.
Very, very interesting what Charlie says. I'm not following what's going on in Brazil. I really don't. And I don't have time to do, really. There's so much things that I don't.
I agree with you, but I was somehow indirectly involved in one of it. So that's why I looked a little bit more, but I stopped also looking because it's terrible.
Yeah. But let's analyze this example that Charles gave to us. Chico did that and did very well. It does not mean that because Chico passed away, another medium cannot do the same or continue this type of work.
There was no internet at that time. Huh?
No internet at the time. But I mean, the work itself, you know, the work itself can be done because mediumship is to help others, right? So we may have another medium that will appear on the spiritist scenario that will do exactly the same as Chico, and he will be very good as well, right? But then we are charitable spiritists. We are very eager to judge everything. We are, right? Then even if this person is doing a very, very good job, exactly the same as Chico, he will suffer. He or she will suffer, right? Because we are not prepared to get someone doing the same again. Because we think we still have so much things in our hearts from past incarnations, past religions, that we need to create idols. We are not prepared, right? So the person, let's say if we have a person that will come to do a serious job about that, he or she will suffer a lot. Like Chico, he did on the beginning. Chico, he has been told that he was even obsessed, that he was this, he was that. Only the time was able to prove that he was nothing as people were saying. Okay? And then we have people that may come with the wrong intentions, trying to follow what he did, but for different purpose. For different purpose. And then we have a lot of people, suffering people, because they lost their loved ones. And they are eager to go to the first example I gave or for the second example I gave. Because what they want is to reduce their suffering. Are they wrong? No. Imagine a mother that lost a son, a daughter. She's trying to find something to bring her comfort. Why I'm giving these two examples? Because there lies a massive difference. It's the moral of the individual who will drive the quality and the seriousness of whatever is coming. I don't know the case Charles is telling me. I have no idea at all, right? And not defending one or another, not at all. But I know it's very difficult when we try to do something positive on the spiritism. There's a lot of people, they are very sharp to make comments, to try to stop a positive work or not. And when things like that happen too, there is, as I said here in the beginning, how to ensure I'm surrounded by good spirits, right? There is also a massive organization to stop any positive work, and they will do whatever they can to show you that you're not real, that you're doing something, or to convince you to do a bad choice in the way, so people can use that bad choice you did to disrupt any possible good work. So it's very complicated. It's very complicated. Why I'm saying all of that? Kardec, he brought to us that Spiritism is a live philosophy. On the Genesis, he's very clear. Spiritism will evolve based on science, based on proof, based on study. And anybody else that may try to bring something different today will be like when Jesus was there. He will receive a lot of stones. He or she will receive a lot of stones. That's why it's very important to all of us who study Kardec, study the basis, study the scenarios, and do not make an evaluation quickly. To make an evaluation, you need to study the matter. You need to, for example, myself, on that scenario, if I see a video or something, or if I, for any reason, receive those information, I will not judge. I don't know what is behind. I cannot know what is behind. I have no idea if it's true, if it's not true, if it's possible or not. I can't. It's like when we are having our meetings on one medium, was that a true communication or that was animism? There's a lot of people that will jump, oh, that was animism. And then I ask, how do you know? How do you know it's animism? I think, no, whoa, stop. We don't have space for thinkers, for thoughts. How do you know? Are you a clairvoyant? Can you see all spirits, even if you are clairvoyant? Can you see all spirits around the medium? Because if you do have 10 clairvoyants in this room, I will see one thing, Munir will see another, Charles may see another thing different. I may have Cherry that will see the same as me. I may have Liz that will see the same as Munir, because clairvoyant depends on vibration too, the syntony. So how do you know is animism? But there's a lot of spiritists that are very sharp to say, yes, it's animism. So we need to be very careful, okay? And I don't think I mentioned that here before, but did I? I don't remember anymore. But in our Spiritist Center in Brazil, there was a group that was advocating the possibility to do the letters, the job of the letters, receive message to give. I was totally against it, totally against it. And then, because we cannot say, I don't want, okay, let's ask our benefactors what they want, what they think. Perhaps that's the way to go, and I'm wrong, and we ask the benefactors. And that institution I'm talking about, we have at least 50 mediums, actively and experienced mediums. And the benefactor, that's the one that organized our institution over there, came to us and said, you don't have to do this activity. It's not planned to do this activity here. But if you decide to do, we will work together. But there's one thing. Only medium A and B can participate. The others don't have conditions for that. And we, again, after the feedback from the spirituality, we decide we're not going to do it. The risks of having such a thing is massive. The responsibility is massive. When the two mediums that have been appointed, they learned that they were appointed, no, we don't want to do that. We don't want to be on the spotlight. No. So we need to be very careful. As I said here a few times, the medium is responsible for everything that's coming through. I think it was Charles who gave an example. If you get a letter and give to someone saying that's for you or from you, you need to be very careful, because the consequences of the content of the message may trigger something you cannot expect or you cannot foresee at all. I gave another example here a few times already, but it's always positive. We had a medium in our institution that was very keen to be on the spotlight. And one person that came to our institution asking for help, the first thing that medium said, "Ooh, there's a very dark spirit around you. I think you have an obsession case." This medium had nothing to say. And we had to go after and to repair the damage. Imagine if the person was a depressed person, if he was on the very limit between commit suicide or not, and after this very unhappy comment, that was it. That's the last drop that the person needed to commit suicide. And I said nothing. I just said, no, it's your responsibility. You are responsible for the last drop. And as a mediums, we are all responsible. All right? Charles, thank you very much. Great example. I love it. I love it. Camila, your turn.
I would say has many places that those cheese letters right there as well. But one thing that came in my mind, always came in my mind, is like not the person is sometimes a charlatan, but maybe has a spirit that is not the person, but want to make funny with you, right? Because know your name, say that is your father or grandmother, however, and you maybe has knowledge about things about you, and you write name of the other person because it's obsession. So it's hard to be sure that you.
It is. And even for serious mediums, let's say that we have a serious medium that did everything right morally on the day-to-day thing. He's very well supported by the good spirits, and he started to do letters. Later on, he got deviated from the moral life he used to have. But now I'm very used to write letters. Now people know me, like Charlie said, on the internet. People know me on the internet that I write letters, that I'm this, I'm that. Good spirits, they will move away. And maybe spirits that are not that good will move closer. And then it's a recipe for disaster. So you need to be very, very careful. Always evaluating everything, always evaluating the content of the message, everything. Let's say Munir is the medium. Munir, I'll give you a name. Could you please check with your benefactors whatever they can say to us? Perhaps I'm throwing a pressure on Munir that he was not even prepared for that. And he feel compelled to write something. He may write a nice message, only with good thoughts that could be used for anyone, from anyone to anyone. Or he decides to say something because, dear Lord, I have 100 people look at me here for a message. And for some reason, a thought came to his mind and he wrote the thought. Could be himself, could be a spirit that is not that positive, could be anything. But the content of the message will tell to the person who was expecting that letter, we had good example. We had Christine here last weekend saying to us that I think her brother or someone from her family went to a medium, and the medium said that he would die in X amount of time. The due date is over, and the person is still there, still alive, So we need to be very careful. I cannot say enough how serious mediumship is and how careful we need to be. All right?
You're making me think about it, right? Because, for example, sometimes sometimes we know things, right? We listen or we see in some kind of form we know something. What I usually do is I never say anything. If I say something, if it's positive, I say more like it's myself. Not it's not, it's very hard, I say, for someone like when I, because many times it's bad and many times how you know that that is truth, right? Like if you listen, I spirit saying that is someone you die, for example, how you can trust, I don't know how you can trust that is something that actually will happens, right?
You also can induce the person to truly believe that what you're saying will happen and will happen. Because we know, for example, when we are sick, our spiritual status, the way we think, can help to be healed or can help to prolong the disease, the sickness. And if you tell that person that is sick already, well, we're gonna die, he may realize, well, I'm gonna die. Okay, I'm dying then. I don't need to leave home anymore. I don't need to work. I will go into a status of mind that will move to the scenario you have described. So you need to be very, very careful. Mediums, they need to know their responsibility. They need to know what to say, when to say, and if they have to say anything. And we only learn that through practice, because it's very common to make mistakes, especially in the beginning. Imagine somebody that has no knowledge at all about what to do or not to do. Can make mistakes.
Why we receive these messages? Why we receive sometimes very bad messages, right? Why that happens? I never understood that.
Sometimes those messages, they are a wake-up call for the person to do what is right. And what is right? Study, develop the mediumship, and then eventually one day the information may become reliable. I see that as a wake-up call. Hi, Yasmin.
Yes, good morning, everyone. If my camera, okay, now it's good. Good morning. Yes, just a quick comment about what has been told right now. It's like I had a law teacher last year, and she used to say, we are already fond of her, and she used to say, everybody learn how to shut it, to close your mouth, to not speak, because as medical engineering, we can see sometimes people coming in our CT scan and getting an exam, and we can see they have a disease, very important disease in the stomach, for example, but we are not allowed to say it, and we have to learn how to shut it, and that's very important. We like to speak. We like, as you said before, everybody likes to be in the spotlights, but yes, we have to learn how to shut it.
Very good point. Very good point. Now we are coming out with the end of our study. I would like to ask one of the members of the group that come for a vibration to take the lead now to conduct the vibration, please.
Hi, just give me a second then, please. Hello, everyone.
Interesting, because I did that. Somebody just left.
Ah, did you? Sorry.
Yeah, another person, and not you.
Yeah, I got. Just bear with me a second then, people. Just let me concentrate here. So let us all gather our thoughts, gather our feelings in our hearts, and remembering that this time of the year we are so close to Christmas. And during Christmas time, we normally think about all the amazing lessons and inspirations that Jesus brought us. So let us all reflect on the meaning of Christmas. Let us all be inspired by the deep messages that comes with the birth of Jesus. And most of all, may we all open our hearts, especially being with family. Let us all be more gentle. Let us all be more patient. Let us all remember to create loving spaces, spaces where love flourishes, where affection flourishes. Let we all be more understanding and remembering that all the challenges that sometimes comes from relationships, those challenges are actually amazing opportunities to grow and to know and to learn about ourselves. So may we all, during this amazing season, be touched by the light of renewal, the light that makes us think about our families, about our relationships, about our lives. And may we all fill our hearts with loving vibrations for all the families around the world. All of those who are facing difficulties, those who are facing struggles. And may our vibrations also reach all of those that are feeling alone and that will probably be alone, cold, and somewhere on the streets during this season. May they all find hope in their hearts. May they all find courage to move forwards. And may they all find comfort in their hearts, knowing that they are never ever alone. So may God bless us all of us here, all of us on the planet, all of us. And may the divine lessons of Jesus fill our hearts with joy and love. And so be it.
So be it.
Well, thank you, everyone. Looking forward to see you next week.
Thank you. See ya.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.